For those of you on the West Coast, good afternoon. For those of you on the East, my name is Mike Rodriguez. I'm a National Vice President here at Freedom Equity Group for those I haven't met. And first, I just want to thank you and congratulate all of you for being a part of this training session here. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about one of, in my opinion, probably the most important step of bringing a new associate on board. It all starts with creating the activity, getting people in front of the information, but then what do you do with them after they've seen the presentation? Well, I'm going to take us through this onboarding, as we like to call it, and I'm going to do it in a way that, as if none of you had seen it before, or for the new people who haven't been exposed to the system, I'm going to basically onboard everybody here on this call in this presentation. So with that said, I'm going to get started here. And I'm going to take you through this presentation, and then at the end of the call, we can open it up for questions and some dialogue, and we can get all those questions answered for you. So again, appreciate you guys getting on, and without further ado, we're going to get started. So this is the presentation you'd show someone after they had seen the video. Where it starts first, we use that filtration system, right, where we point them to the information. We allow them to view the video on their own terms so they kind of formulate their own opinions. And when they say, okay, what's the next step, this is the next step. So this is what we like to call and we refer to as the onboarding process. And this presentation is available on the back of Freedom Builder, the Freedom Builder info site. So the most common questions that we get, and really what this onboarding presentation is really an interview, right? Think about a traditional interview. I'm sure most of us have been on at least one in our lives. When you go into an interview, there's some expectations that are being set by both parties, both you and both by the employer, right? You're expecting to work in a safe environment, you're expecting to make X amount of dollars, and the employer is expecting you to show up on time and fulfill your daily duties. Well, we're no different. We have expectations of you, and I'm sure you have expectations of us. The goal here is to be successful. The goal is to make money in the long run, and that's really help the families and the people that we know. So the most common questions that we get when we do these presentations are, what do I have to do? How much money can I earn? Where do our clients come from? And who is Freedom Equity Group? These are really the four core questions that we get over and over again as new associates come on board. So who is Freedom Equity Group? Well, we've been in business over 10 years. We're a company that was founded by producers for producers. Our leaders, Bill St. Clair, Ron Petrinovich, and Ron Blumenkemper, have a combined experience of over 90 years in financial services. And the concept really is freedom. It's right in the name of the company. We really promote freedom. And how do we do that? Well, we do that with, providing people a tax-free income, with living benefits or life insurance they don't have to die to use, and the opportunity to earn the income of their dreams. We are truly on a crusade, and America really does need our help. There are so many families out there who are being devastated financially from these critical chronic illnesses and not having the ability to retire with some dignity, and that's our job. Our job is to really help those families out. And as far as our compensation with the new comp plan, we certainly have the highest multi-pay compensation in the industry, unlike anything that most of us have ever seen, a real opportunity to earn a six-figure, seven-figure income. Our business model, it's pretty interesting. The reason why our comp plan is so great is because it was designed that way. It was designed for producers. But our business model is really what is very unique about Freedom Equity Group. See, we can have the ability to attract the experienced producer, someone who's been in the business, who's had a license, who's had success in this industry. But we also have the ability to attract professionals from other industries, mortgage brokers, CPAs, real estate agents, lawyers, also entrepreneurs, self-motivated individuals, people who are looking to make a difference in their own lives, people who want to be in business for themselves. I mean, the American dream, that really is what it's all about, right? Every big company started somewhere. It started with an idea. We give people the opportunity to be in business for themselves, but not by themselves. So we're able to attract those entrepreneurs to Freedom Equity Group, which makes us a very unique opportunity. Here are some of our preferred affiliations. We represent some of the top, if not the top, living benefits carriers in the industry today. Most of our carriers are 50 years old plus. I mean, some of them are over 100 years old. In fact, one of the carriers on the screen actually paid a death benefit on Abraham Lincoln. Just to give you an idea of the time-tested nature of this industry, you know, this industry is not going anywhere, folks. We've been around. We've survived 2 world wars. We've survived multiple political parties and global crises, and, you know, we're still going strong. So these are just some of the carriers that we've added. We've just recently added a company called Fidelity and Guarantee Life, or F&G as we've called it. Great exclusive products that they've developed for us. So we're really on the forefront of offering some of the best, if not the best, financial products out on the market today. What do these carriers offer for us and for us to offer to our clients? Well, we've all seen this slide, red line, blue line, right? Let me ask you, if you had $100 or $100,000, what line would you rather be on? I'm sure the answer for most people, unless they're colorblind, and in that case the blue line is the one that keeps going up, is to be on the blue line. Well, what is the red line? The red line represents $17 trillion worth of qualified funds that are in this country. What's a qualified fund? A 401k, an IRA. What most people feel is the best source for retirement. However, all of us on this call know, and all of us who have seen that presentation know that the 401k, from a quote from Time Magazine, is really truly a financial flop, a lousy product. So what we do is not only protect them in the event that they got sick, but the ultimate living benefit of having them get an income that they cannot outlive. And we do that through our preferred carriers, through our incredible financial products, our Index Universal Life products. We have the ability to have our clients and our associates participate in most of the market upside, but none of the downside risk. I mean, you can't get much better than that. Let's talk about taxes for a second, because taxes are always something that come up. 2 things in life we can't avoid, right? Death and taxes. Well, we're actually changing that mentality a little bit, because we're giving our clients and our associates the opportunity to avoid some taxes. This is the historical tax history over the last 100 years. In fact, 2014 was the 100-year anniversary of the IRS tax code. You can see that we are in the 3rd lowest tax bracket in history. I mean, back during World War II, you can see 94% was the average tax bracket, right? So imagine being only able to keep 6 cents on every dollar that you make. Well, folks, I got some bad news for you. This next slide right here shows us where taxes are going. If you can see the gray area, that gray represents what the government spending is, or what the government debt is. And you can notice that this green line mirrors very closely to where the government spending or public debt is. Well, back here in World War II, you can see the government debt or the public spending was about 121.25%, and taxes were at 94%. As this came down over the next 30, 40, 50 years, so did taxes. Well, where do you think taxes are going now that you can see the gray going all the way back up? The answer seems to be pretty obvious. You know, history has a tendency to repeat itself. So we're going to see taxes go up. In fact, we already did. Back in January 1st, 2014, see, on December 31st, 2013, the top income tax bracket was 35%. At 1201, the very next year, that went up 4.9% to 39.9%. The payroll tax went up from 37.4% to 52%. We are already seeing the effects of the government debt on our taxes. And what can we do to really help prevent our clients from being exposed to these incredibly large increases? Well, we like to refer to it as the Swiss Army knife of finance, or the IUL, or Indexed Universal Life. You know, 7 out of 10 people who reach age 65 will experience one of the big 3, as we like to call them, the heart attack, stroke, or cancer. In fact, I'm sure if I went around this call, almost every single one of you can think of at least one person who has had a heart attack, stroke, or cancer. I know I had a friend 2 years ago who was 26 who actually passed away from a heart attack. My family I have at least 4 or 5 cancer survivors in my family. A long family friend of ours had a stroke about 6 or 7 years ago, and stroke is the #1 cause of permanent disability. And did you know that over half of all bankruptcies in this country today are due to medical-related expenses? But 78% of them had health insurance. So what does that mean? That means that the doctors got paid, the nurses got paid, the ambulance drivers got paid, but who paid the mortgage? Who put food on the table? Who kept the heat on? See, that's what we do, guys. We have the ability to protect people if they live too long, if they get sick, or if they die too soon, and we do that with our IUL product. Living benefits. Living benefits is really our crusade. That's what this company's foundation is really founded upon. Living benefits, it can happen to anybody. I just told you about a friend of mine who had a heart attack at 26. It doesn't matter. Nobody is exempt from getting a critical, chronic, or terminal illness. The question is, do they have the right protection in place? See, although no one is exempt from these illnesses, they do have the choice whether or not to protect themselves in the event of something catastrophic. What they don't know is that these products are available. This is our job. Our job is to get the information in front of people so they're aware of what is actually out there. Because most people, what they don't know, they believe does not exist. We need to really push this as our crusade to make sure people understand the value of having a living benefits policy. Here's a couple more of the living benefits that are covered through one of our carriers. You can see that there are 16 total critical illnesses that someone would be able to actually receive a benefit while they were still alive in the event that they had one of these. Again, we classify them as the big 3, heart attack, stroke, cancer, but you can also see there's blindness, paralysis, ALS, major burns, loss of limbs. If anybody remembers the Boston Marathon bombings of a few years ago, very, very tragic and devastating event. Luckily, only 3 people died, but there were over 200 people who were hurt in the process. Most of them lost limbs or lost eyesight or lost fingers and toes. Well, what is their quality of life like now? Were they able to go back to work with that terrible illness? Were they able to perform their daily duties? And if not, what are they doing financially to fill that gap now that they cannot perform their work functions? They cannot go back to work. We have the answer. If those people were our clients, we would be able to protect them financially from any devastation that could occur while they were on their road to recovery. In my opinion, the American dream is under siege. Last weekend in Las Vegas, we saw a group of people who actually came to this country in search of an American dream. And a lot of us here kind of take that for granted. We were born here, we see the great land of opportunity, but, sometimes it's hard to see the forest through the trees, right? And really, we need to kind of understand why this country is so great. Right now, the dream is under siege. Unemployment is close to 10%. That number is probably much higher because that only includes people who are actually collecting unemployment. Underemployment is at 20%. Jeff Wardell gave a presentation back in Galveston. There are 242 million people in this country. Less than 50% have a full-time job. That means over half of the population are working either one part-time or multiple part-time jobs or not at all. So do we have an opportunity? Is the market big enough for us to penetrate and show them the opportunity to really make a difference in their own lives and the lives of the people that they know? I mean, we don't have to talk about market losses in real estate or low-interest savings account. We all are aware of this. We have the answer. Will life be better for this little fellow than his fathers or his grandfathers? In my opinion, that answer is no. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm only 28 years old. For me, Social Security is a stretch of the imagination. There is a very slim chance, probably very zero chance, that I'll ever be able to collect Social Security benefits. So what am I going to do come retirement? Pensions are a thing of the past as well. I need to really think about where I'm going to be 30, 40 years from now and make sure that I have the right protection in place to do so. So that gives you a little bit of a recap of what our crusade is, why we have all seen the value in this opportunity. So that's really what we do. I'm going to show you how we do, but before that, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. And this is where we can really set the expectations of what you're looking to get out of this particular opportunity. Again, think about that scenario in the interview. You have set our expectations, now let us set yours. And I would encourage each and every one of you on this call to write down what the answers to these 5 questions are. You know, what is your why? We talk about this a lot, and you hear this, and for some people it may sound a little bit ambiguous, but having your why and defining what that is critical to your success in this company. And I'm going to tell you why. People know what we do. They can see how we do, but they will react to why we do it. That is where the emotional response to this crusade comes in. See, my why is a little twofold. First of all, I have personal experience with financial devastation. My father, who came to this country in search of an American dream, came to this country at 11 with his 7 younger brothers or sisters. Didn't go to school, that wasn't for him, so he joined the workforce right away. Did very, very well for himself. But at age 41, he had a massive heart attack, and 2 of the 3 major arteries in his heart were more than 92% clogged. Probably should have killed him. Now, luckily for my family and I, he didn't die. He survived. But what happened in the process? Well, he lost his home. He lost the vacation home. He lost the cars and basically his entire American dream. Now he's living on a disability income, 1 check per month in a 1-bedroom apartment in a bad part of town here in Rhode Island for the rest of his life. And it's all because I didn't know about these products when he had that heart attack. I wasn't able to provide him the information for him to make the right decision. See, he had a life insurance policy. In fact, he still does. But he didn't even get a get well card from that life insurance company. Something to really consider. So what is your why? My other why is freedom. That's what it comes down to. My experience is not in financial services, folks. I only got my license back September 2014. I've been doing this full time since then. Prior to that, my experience is in retail. Retail is a 363-day-a-year job. I have missed every 4th of July, every New Year's Day, every one of my brother's birthday parties, my little brother who's 12 years old. I've missed at least 8 of his birthday parties. I had to fake being sick in order to call out of work. I had to request time off, sometimes 2, 3, 4 weeks in advance, just to have it denied at the last minute because, oh, Mike, we really need you today. I made the decision to not want to give away all my time because we only have so much time here. The only thing that we can get one of is our life, and I plan to make the most of it, and I wasn't accomplishing what I really wanted to do working in retail, building someone else's company. That's my why, and I encourage you to find yours. And if you have yours, great. But keep that personal story and share that personal story with everyone you talk to. The second question, what type of income are you looking for? This is a fair question. If you're only looking to make an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month, that's great. If you're looking to make a 6- and 7-figure income, that's great too. It's good to define where you want to be so we can tell you how to get there. This is the roadmap to where you want to go. But if you don't have a destination, then how do you know where you're going? So what type of income are you looking for? Whatever that number is, go ahead, write that down. Set goals. And don't be afraid to dream big. I've only been in this business full-time 6 months. My goals for this year is to walk across that stage as a 6-figure earner, earn my ring, earn a trip to Mexico, like we saw a lot of the leaders from our team do this past week in Las Vegas. How much time are you willing to devote to your business? This ties into the question right above it. See, if you told me, Michael, I can only put in maybe 2 or 3 hours a week, but I want to make $100,000, well, that may not be realistic. We may have to revamp either your income expectations or try to find you more time so we can get you to where you want to be income-wise. So how much time are you willing to devote to this? If you're in this full-time, then the sky's the limit. If you're in this part-time, you can still earn a six-figure income part-time, but you need to have the dedication and the discipline and the time to devote to get to where you want to be. This fourth question, I've never had anybody tell me no when I ask them, are you coachable? But see, what people believe to be coachable isn't what coachable really is. You could be teachable, and you could learn about what we do, and you can learn about IUL, and you can learn about living benefits. But there's a difference between being teachable and coachable. See, I was teachable in my first 30 days, but I wasn't coachable, even though I answered yes to this question. What I mean by that is the first 30 days that I had my license and I was running this system, I wasn't getting anywhere because I wasn't following the map that was laid out to me. I was trying to explain to people over the phone what living benefits were. I was trying to explain to people what a tax-free retirement was. Instead of just pointing them to the information, having them watch the video and then do a follow-up call with my trainer, which is what our system dictates, I was trying to do it all on my own. So at the end of 30 days, I went back to my leaders and I said, look, guys, I don't know if this is for me. I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not getting the response that I've been told that I would get. So they asked me, well, Mike, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm making the calls and they're asking me what I do, so I'm telling them about living benefits. And before I could finish my sentence, my leaders looked at me and said, stop right there. You're not running the system. You are not being coachable. You need to run the play. The play is designed to win every single time if you run it. So I made the decision on October 1st to be coachable. And what I mean by that is when my leaders say, Mike, run the play, I say, okay. I'm ready to get in the game. I'm ready to do what it is that I need to do. And why not learn that from the people who are already earning 6 and 7 figures in this business, in this company? See, if you want to be a millionaire, the advice that I was always given was go find one and do what they do. No questions asked. That's coachability. That's being coachable. So if you're coachable, then you're just going to run the play. You're not going to ask why we run the play this way. You're not going to ask why the system was designed this way. You're just going to go out and do it. And I can promise you that the results will come after that. On October 1st, when I made the decision to be coachable, I brought on 30 people in my first day, my first month. The next month, another 30 people. And we have compounded exponentially since then because now I understand what it is to be coachable and I can recognize the people on my team who are coachable. And by doing so, they're able to duplicate their efforts. And we are just absolutely exploding in 2015. We just barely scratched the surface. We are going to blow it up this year. The last question, do you want strong leadership or weak leadership? This is a fair question. Some people don't want to be bothered. Some people just want to come on and do their thing and be the silent majority. Maybe they just want some weak leadership, someone who's going to say, here you go, here's what you need to do. Give me a call if you need it. But I know the people on my team and I know me personally, I wanted strong leadership. I wanted someone who's going to hold me accountable to the expectations and the goals that I set for myself, because that's only going to make me more successful. That's only going to make me better, not only in business but in life. See, if you don't have that workout partner, if you don't have that leader guiding the way for you, it's very easily to get off track, to become distracted. So when people tell me that they want strong leadership, and if you want strong leadership, then you need to be held accountable to the goals that you set for yourself. You need to be held accountable to the fact that you said you were coachable. You need to be held accountable to however much time you're going to devote and for the amount of income that you're looking for. And that is why I have each and every single person who I introduce this opportunity to answer those 5 questions before we go any further. I want a baseline of expectations so I know what to hold them accountable to. And I'd encourage each and every one of you to hold yourself accountable, but not only that, take it a step further and let your leaders hold you accountable to this as well. That's what's really going to push you to the next level. So now that we've told you what we do, and we've answered some questions and we've gotten some expectations out of the way, we're going to get into how we do it, right? And the great mentor, Marshall Thurber, taught us that 94% of all failures are due to a lack of system. So it's not a lack of will, it's not a lack of knowledge, it's a lack of a system. What does that mean? That means you have a 94% chance of failing if you do not run the play. So what would you rather have? Would you rather have a 6% chance to win, or would you rather have a 94% chance to win by running the system? And the system needs to be proven, profitable, and predictable. Well, we have that, and we've perfected it over time to a point where if you run the play, if you run the system will build your business for you. What is our system? And why did we use it? Well, simply because it works. And here is our system right here. It's to become a qualified associate. These 5 simple steps, and again, I want to reiterate, 5 simple steps. I didn't say they were easy. I said they were simple. But if you complete these 5 simple steps and become a student of the system, then you can really accelerate your growth and accelerate your success through our company here at FEG. So what are those 5 steps? Well, the first one is to complete your personal plan, or as we've come to know it, become a product of the product. The second one, field presentations, 3 to 5, whether they be live or online. Third one is to meet the spouse or significant other. The fourth one is to generate a list of prospects from anywhere from 25 to 100 or more names. And the last step is to submit the licensing paperwork, or to get licensed or appointed with our carriers. And if you complete these 5 steps in any time period, you're considered a qualified associate. Now, we've developed this system in a way where each step in that order is going to give you the best chance for success. See, we didn't just come up with these 5 steps and put them in this order for no apparent reason. We actually took the time to think about what would be most beneficial and what order do we need to do this in order to give you the best chance to succeed here at FEG. So I'm going to get into each one of these steps one by one and kind of deep dive into them as we go through here and explain to you why we put these steps in the order that we did. So step 1, your own personal program. You need to complete a needs analysis with your sponsor. We want to make sure that you are protected with your family with a product that's suitable for you. So we don't just say these things. We want you to be a crusader. In order to be a crusader, you need to be a product of the product. Jeff Wardell sticks with me, and I use it every time I give this presentation. If you're going to sell Hondas, then you better not show up to work in a Toyota. If you're going to sell this product, then you need to believe in this product. Not only that, why wouldn't you want living benefits? If you're like 99% of the population, you're already paying for life insurance, but you don't have the right kind. Think about when Apple released the first iPhone. What happened? People lined up for days and days and days because there was new technology coming out that was going to revolutionize the industry. Folks, we have the same concept. We are revolutionizing the industry. People are going to line up to hear what we have to say, but it all starts with you. It starts with you becoming a product of the product, not only to protect yourself, but what better way to be trained on our products than from a consumer standpoint, on yourself. You're going to ask all the right questions. You're going to ask all the questions that you will eventually be asked by your clients and potential agents. So why not learn the system from the inside out? That's why we have you do a personal program as step 1. It's a necessary step to stay on track to get to a vice president's level. The second step, before I get to the second step, we don't just determine, a shot in the dark as to what you need in insurance. We take the time to actually sit with you and go through what we like to call a simple needs analysis. What a simple needs analysis is we identify where your debt is. How much income would you need to replace in the event of something catastrophic or premature death? Do you have children that you would like to put through college? And we find out exactly what the total amount of insurance that you need is. Again, we got to find something that's suitable for you. I'm not just going to sell you a policy because I believe you need $1 million. I need to find out what is it that we need to protect. What assets do you have? What is it that you need to pay off in the event that you can't go to work? The next step to that simple needs analysis is finding the money to pay for it. How much can you afford? Are you currently paying for the wrong kind of life insurance or the old term of life insurance? Are you contributing to a 401k? See, people think that they can only afford $150 a month. By putting some of this information in front of them, we actually can help them find more money. Let me ask you, if you knew that you putting money into a 401k had the potential to lose it versus putting it into one of our products and you could never have that loss, why wouldn't you reallocate those funds? We're not saying to dump the 401k. Just stop contributing to it and put that money in the right vehicle for your retirement. So we can find more money for people to get them to where they want to be financially down the road. And we complete one of these with each and every single one of our clients and associates because we need to determine what the best product that is for them. We need to determine what's suitable for them and what fits within their budget so we can make an educated decision as to how to proceed with their own personal plan. The next step, 3 to 5 short presentations. Now, these are short live presentations. They can be done in person or over the internet. And we use what we've coined as the 7 magic words. Are you in front of your computer? I have never seen anything that has been more simple and easy to use, and most importantly, easy to duplicate than these 7 magic words. See, before you buy a car, you test drive it, right? So what we do in our system is that we have you do 3 to 5 short presentations. Who are the 3 to 5 people you care about most? Let's get them in front of the information to see if this opportunity is right for you. And if it's not, that's okay. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say yes. Maybe is where we have the problem. So we want to send you through a test drive first to make sure that you understand what it takes to make this opportunity work. And folks, it's nothing more than having the discipline to get on the phone and call somebody and ask them, are you in front of your computer? Those conversations are no longer than 5 or 10 minutes. Are you in front of your computer piques enough curiosity for people to want to know more. Think about the last great book you read or the last great movie that you saw. When you told your friend, how did that conversation go? Oh, man, you've got to go see this movie. Well, tell me about it. No, I don't want to ruin it for you. Go and see this movie. Go and read this book. You're going to love it. You need to have that same conviction when you're telling people about this opportunity, about this particular crusade. You need to have that enthusiasm. Are you in front of the computer? No. Well, tell me about it. No, you need to see this. This could really change your life. Let me know when you're in front of your computer, and I'll call you back then. That's all I say, guys, on 3 to 5 times a day. In fact, if you made 3 calls a day, 5 days a week, that's 60 calls in a month. If 94% of the people you talk to on a monthly basis said no, you could still earn a 6-figure income in this business. Think about that. You only need about 6% of the people you talk to on a monthly basis to say yes in order for you to achieve the income that you set out to achieve. Now, we know that the incredible need for this product makes that percentage about 50% of the people say they want to do something with it. Not all of them join the opportunity, but most of them want this product for themselves. I've never come across anybody who said living benefits is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Or I'm not worried about my retirement, I'm just going to leave it in the stock market. The rest really does take care of itself. If you can have the discipline to make the calls and put people in front of the information, the system will build your business. It really is that simple. Don't overcomplicate this. This does work. I don't need to know why it works. I don't need to know how it works. I just know that it works. And because it does, I never deviate from these 7 magic words, from a 3-way call, from doing it the right way. And by doing it the right way, I have a team that is growing exponentially, and all of you can have that same success. All of you can have those killer teams. All of you can have that duplicatable process where each and every member of your team, whether they come from retail, banking, or they come from this industry or not, can have that same success and same conviction when they talk about what we do here. So that's why step 2 is 3 to 5 short field presentations. Let's make sure that this opportunity is right for you. Step 3, the spouse. We all live our family lives before our business lives, and we need to have that team mentality. You want to have that support from your spouse. You don't want to be making calls at 10, 11 o'clock at night and have your spouse come down, and then you try to tell her that it's only Jake from State Farm, right? No. You want to make sure that they understand our crusade. They don't have to be a part of the crusade. They don't need to get an FEG code number or get their license, but they should at least see the information and understand why it is you're doing what you're doing. Also, because if you're getting a policy and you're outlaying some monthly money on a monthly basis, they need to know where that money's going as well. So getting the spouse involved is very, very crucial and vital to your success. Not only all of that, but imagine you had a free lead generation service that lives with you, because that's what a spouse could be. See, when the spouse believes in what we do, and it's our jobs as the trainer to educate our new associates and their spouses on exactly what we do. When you have a spouse that sees the value of what we have, they become a lead generation source for you. They can walk around with your business cards, call my husband, call my wife. I think they have something that you may be interested in. And that's just free leads that you get from the support of your spouse. That's why the spouse is so important if you have one. If not, then you can check this right off the list. If you do, then let's get them sit down, let them watch the video, let the trainer or the mentor come on and answer any questions or apprehensions that they may have. The spouse is crucial to your success or failure here at this business, right? That's why we take the time to sit with them as a trainer or a mentor. The fourth step, inventory for your business. Every business needs inventory, whether it be a grocery store, shoe store. Our business needs prospects. And our business, our inventory is free, and it's easy to get. It's a list of people who may or may not join our crusade, may or may not buy from you, or may not need our product. So if you look at that in a more simplistic form, it's pretty much everybody, right? Everybody in this country needs what we have. Everybody who we know needs to know about what we do. People are looking for hope and opportunity. People are looking for a way to retire with some dignity. Think about the last time you went to the grocery store or to a Walmart or wherever. It doesn't matter. How many 70, 75-year-old plus people did you see working there? It's not because they want to, folks. Maybe some of them, but the most of them can't afford to retire. It's sad. It is sad to see these people just working until the day that they die because they didn't have the right vehicles in place. They didn't have somebody who had this wealth of information that they wanted to share and give that to them and give them a chance to live that dream retirement. That's our job. See, we're not salespeople. We're conduits for information. We're educators. Take that mentality. Take the sales right out of it. Become an educator and watch the response that you get from the people that you speak with. You need to tell everybody about this. This is no longer a privilege of information. This is a necessity that we get out there when we talk to everybody. And that's our inventory, folks. The majority of the people are looking for something better. 51% of the population is either unemployed or underemployed. Do you think they're looking for an opportunity? Do you think they're looking for that hope? Do you think they're looking for a way to earn the income that everybody's always dreamed about? We need to have the discipline to get out there and talk to the people that we know, the people that we don't know, and to work within our markets of the people that we bring on board to this opportunity. The last step is the licensing process. Really, this is the housekeeping part. We're in a regulated industry. It requires a license because no license means no business now or later, and it's the mark of a true profession. So in most states, the license costs about $350, maybe a little bit more. I can tell you from experience, folks, I had a brick-and-mortar wireless retail store. That store, if I could have ran that store for $350 and been in business for myself, I probably would still have it. I don't know anywhere where you can become an entrepreneur for less than $500 and earn the income that you've always dreamed of. I don't know anywhere where you can be in business for yourself but not by yourself. This is a true opportunity. This is something that is unique to anything that we've ever seen. And we've all seen various network marketing gigs. We've all seen MLMs. This is not that. We have something that really changes the lives of the people that we know. We have something that can change your life dramatically. You need to take a hold of that. And the last step in this process of our system is to get the credentials and for you to earn that income. So it's a simple track to follow. Now that you know what the 5 steps are, what do you do next? Well, if you follow this simple track that we've laid out, you can accelerate your success and really win big here at FEG. So let me tell you a little bit about the roadmap that we've laid out to really get you to the next level as quickly as possible. Our Sprint Award is to become a qualified associate in the first 10 days, otherwise known as the 5 and 10. What are those 5 steps? Well, we just went through them. Complete your personal plan, 3 to 5 field presentations, meet the spouse, create the inventory for your business, and then start the licensing process. Now, let me explain to you why we put these in this order. Imagine yourself a professional athlete, let's say baseball player. You don't know the game, but you're learning the game, right? So you get all your gear, you have your equipment, you got your uniform, you show up to the field, but you don't have a team to play with. Now let's look at another scenario. Let's say you were learning the game while you were building a team. Now by the time you get to the field, you already have a group of guys who know what to do and who know how to play. Wouldn't you want that scenario? Wouldn't you want to have your own personal plan in place so when you go out and talk to people, when they ask you, well, what did you get? You can tell them exactly what you have. Wouldn't you want the peace of mind to know that your retirement is protected or that your family is protected with living benefits? Wouldn't you want to know that you can do this opportunity because you've already tried it 3 to 5 times? Wouldn't you want to know that your spouse is already on board? And wouldn't you want to create an inventory so by the time you get your license, you have a group of people to talk to? Now imagine you brought 3 people on board. And by the time you got your license, they already went through these 5 steps. Well, if every person that you brought on board brought just a list of 25 names, isn't that 75 more people that you have the potential to reach out to now? See, there is a method to our madness here. There is a reason why step 1 is step 1, step 2 is step 2, and so on and so forth. You can get your license, but what good is a license if you don't know what to do with it? Work the system in this order. And by doing it in your first 10 days, you're going to get a promotion from a training rep to a 40% commission level. The next step is for you to get 3 personal qualified associates in 30 days. Now, what are qualified associates? It's 3 people who went through the same 5 steps you did in their first 10 days. If you did that, you'd get promoted to 50%. And now you have a small team growing. Now, in your first day, it takes about 30 days to get your license. So here's that team building aspect before you got your license. Now you're going to have a team to play with by the time you get that credential in place. So you get 3 personal qualified associates in your first 30 days. We're going to promote you again from 40% to 50%. And in the process, you're going to get reimbursed for any expenses that you incur. Here is our Education License and Training Expense Reimbursement Program for unlicensed agents. If you complete these 6 requirements, you will actually get a reimbursement from your trainer in the amount of $900. So your trainer is going to help build your team for you. Your trainer is going to teach you the system. Your trainer is going to be there side by side with you along the way while you get this thing off the ground. And in your first 30 days, you're going to be reimbursed for any expenses that you incur. Now remember, the license in most states is only about $350. When all the expenses are said and done, you actually do make a profit in most cases. So we're going to pay you within your first 30 days if you follow our system. And following the system can be easy if you have the right leaders in place. And all of those who are on this call who are leaders, you need to be able to duplicate your efforts over and over again. And we've laid out the ground map to do that. It's just these 5 steps. These 5 steps over and over will give you the best chance for success. That's our reimbursement program. What's the next step after you get 3 qualified associates? Well, it's to help them get 3 qualified associates. And this is going to keep you on a fast track to VP. Once you get 3 qualified associates for each of your new team members, we're going to give you another promotion. We're going to take you from 50 to 65% and put you at a vice president's level. And in the process, you're going to be writing business. In the process, now you've developed a team of 12 people who all have a list of 25 to 100 names. So you can see how it's so easy for us to prospect. The number one problem in this industry is prospecting. The average agent only lasts about 6 months because they run out of people to talk to. With our crusade, why wouldn't you want to talk to the people you care about? Why wouldn't you want to talk to everyone that you know, because you could really save people's lives and save people's families and futures. So you impress that mentality on the people you bring on. Now they bring on 3 people, and each person brings on 3 people. And you can see how the power of one and the power of just one more can take your business to heights that you can't even see right now. You're going to need to wear sunglasses all the time because the future is so bright. I'm going to switch gears here because obviously the goal is to make money. So let me show you how we do that. As a builder's vice president, if you were just helping 2 families a month, you'd earn an income of about $60,000. Now, for those of you who said, I want to just earn $60,000 a year, well, you can do it on your own. But you'll never be as wealthy as the guy who brings on a few people that duplicate his efforts. And let me show you what I mean by that. Let's say you built a small base shop of people who are just doing 2 sales each. You had them at various levels, okay? So between you and your base shop, you're running 8 sales a month. 8 sales. Now, here's my personal definition of success. Adding zeros to my paycheck without adding hours to my workday. Think about that for a second. If you can add zeros to your paycheck without adding hours to your workday, wasn't that the greatest opportunity of all time? If you train people the right way on how to get them through the system, how to help families in the process, well, you can earn a 6-figure income, of which about 40% of it would come from other people's efforts. Now let's say we take that one step further, and you had 2 people who duplicated exactly what you did and had a base shop of just helping 8 families a month. There's another 6-figure income. See, everything is duplicatable, right or wrong. This is the right way to do it. Following these 5 steps is the right way to do it. And it's so simple that anybody from any walk of life can do it. That's our hybrid business model. We're not only attracting industry professionals, we're attracting real estate agents, we're attracting mortgage brokers, we're attracting bankers, lawyers. I have a person on my team who's 22 years old that delivers auto parts and set to make about $60,000 in his first 6 months. It can happen with anybody. And I'm not going to go too crazy here with the numbers, but you can see what these numbers can do. And folks, we didn't change your personal production. You're still only helping 2 families a month. That's 1 family every other week. But what you did was you showed other people how to do what you do. You know, you want to teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a day. But you teach a man how to catch fish, and he'll eat for a life, right? So this is really the power of compounding, the power of getting 1 and then just 1 more. Duplicating your efforts over and over and over again can get you to where you want to be and can earn you a passive 6-figure income. Add zeros to your paycheck without adding hours to your workday. With that said, we're coming to the end of the presentation here, so I just have a couple questions for each and every one of you. If you had the ability to be on a fast track or a traditional path, which one would you choose? The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. If we gave you a straight line to walk, and we did with our 5-step system, would you want to take that line, or would you take the scenic route? Do you want a fast start, or do you want a turbo start? Turbo start is someone who just gets out there and gets going right away. And once you get through, if you have that excitement, you're going to permeate that excitement through the people that you talk to. And the last question that I ask everybody, can you think of any reason why we shouldn't move forward at this point? If you can think of a reason why we shouldn't move forward, then maybe we didn't answer all your questions. Maybe this opportunity isn't for you. We want to get those questions answered before we take it to the next step. We want to make sure that you understand the value of what we do. We want to make sure that you understand the commitments we expect from you. We want you to understand that we're going to hold you accountable to the goals that you set for yourself. So when I ask if there's any reason why we shouldn't move forward, if that answer is no, then let's get started right away. We'll get started right away. We'll start building your team. We'll start taking you to the dream that you've always dreamt of, and we'll do that together. Again, this is a business that you're in for yourself, but not by yourself. And that's where all these great leaders and this great organization has developed this company for. That's our onboarding presentation. That is our interview presentation. This is where we get the commitment from our new associates who come on board, who want to win big here at FEG. Once you get this through this presentation, you're going to see the excitement levels rise 6, 7, 8 levels. They're going to be walking on clouds after you get through this, because now we have a destination and we have a map to get there. So with that said, folks, I'm going to head and unmute the line and open it up for any questions or comments or anything like that. I'd love to hear from you guys. So I appreciate all of you being on before I unmute it here, and I really appreciate all that you do for everyone, especially the leaders on this call. And for those new folks, what I would encourage you is to get back to the person who invited you to this presentation and get started, because you absolutely can win here. No matter where you come from, no matter where you want to go, follow the system will build your business.
You are now unmuted.
All right, we've opened up the call. If you guys have any questions, let's go ahead and get those answers.
See you later, Steph.
All right, any questions, guys? Everybody mute out there. All right. It's a little loud, so if you guys are sitting in front of your computer, let's use that. I'm going to mute it out again.
You are now muted.
All right, we got some questions here. Better to type in questions, right? Thank you, Brian. Robert Koch, if I'm a 60% and downline member is 50%, they get a sale, do I automatically get a 10% override? Yes, Robert, that is true. You do get a 10% override if you have someone at 50%. Carlo, thank you. Just so you know, guys, Jeff Manns, thanks for bringing that up. Our next event in Minnesota, it's the Conference of Champions. If you were in Las Vegas, we had an incredible event out in Las Vegas. We got to hear from our leaders. We got to hear from the Gillis Moa team as well. We're doing an absolutely fabulous job, really crushing it. And we're all going to be out there in Minnesota. That's July 10th and 11th. The information is up on the FEG, the Freedom Equity Group site. I'd encourage you to register early. It's $99 early bird registration, and it's $120 at the door. So definitely get in as quickly as you can. It more than likely will sell out. We're expecting 5,000 people at this particular event. You want to hear from the great leaders. You want to rub elbows with those guys making 6 and 7 figures, then that's where you need to be. Go ahead and get out there, register for that event right away, book your plane tickets while they're still cheap, make the commitment, make the investment in yourself, because you are worth it and you can win. So again, 10th and 11th of July in Minnesota. Those details are online on the Freedom Equity Group site. Please go ahead and register for that event. Jeff Manns, yes, it is being recorded. Kevin Schneider went to the FEG site and Financial Calculator 7.0 is the old commission. If you click on the picture on the Freedom Equity Group site from the Las Vegas event, there's a section in there where you can actually download all of the presentations from Las Vegas. You can go ahead and download all those presentations, and in that is the new income calculator. Reggie Thornhill, the 7 magic words. Absolutely. Let me give you an idea of how my 7 magic words actually go. When I make a phone call, whether it be to someone I know or I don't know, I usually start with a little small talk. So, hey, Jeff, how's it going? How's the wife? How's the kids? Very glad to hear. Weather's cold up here in Rhode Island. Yeah, I know, winter time, right? Listen, the reason why I called is because I have some compelling information I want to share with you. Are you in front of your computer? Now, there are only two answers to that question. No? Great. When will you be? Well, tell me about it. Now, no, Jeff, I can't tell you about it. You need to see this for yourself. You're going to be in front of your computer around 6? Yeah, around 6 o'clock. Is it okay if I call you then? Sure. Great. I'll give you a call then. I'll get you in front of the information that you need to see. If they say yes, great. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to freedombuilderinfo.com and see that video at the top there, that red line, blue line slide. Go ahead and watch that video. It's only about 3 minutes long. I'll wait until you're done. Once they finish watching that video, usually the reaction I get is, wow, why don't I know about this? I know, right? Unbelievable what you can actually, when you actually see it, how powerful it is. You know, here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like to dive a little bit deeper. See that video right below it called Freedom Equity Group Overview? Why don't you watch that video? It's about 30 minutes long. When you're done, call me back. And when they call me back, I ask a very simple question. Hey, Jeff, you watched the video? Great. What did you like best about the video? Oh, I like tax-free retirement. Oh, I like living benefits. Oh, I'm interested in an opportunity. Great. Do you have 15 minutes? Here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to get one of the executives on the phone, and he can answer any questions that you may have. Then I do a three-way call with my leader. I put myself on mute. I take notes as to the questions that were asked and how they were answered. And then, so I'm prepared for the next time and the next time. See, I did that my first 30 or 45 days, and now I am the executive that's getting on the call for my teams because I took notes, because I learned what to say and how to say it. See, my leader, Leo DeRoyne, made a very epic statement to me that I didn't understand up until about maybe 2 to 3 months ago. He said, you can never say the wrong thing to the right person. You can never say the wrong thing to the right person. See, what they don't know, what people don't know, they don't know. The video clarifies a lot of information for people. We're just here to follow up and really make sure we drive that point home. All right, let's see. What other questions we have? Once the recording is up, we'll make sure we get it up on Facebook, and we'll get it out to you via email, so that will be going out. Let's see what else. It is being recorded. Is there a script that I can be downloaded? I can't thank you enough. William Gray, thank you for being on. You can watch this over and over. You're going to get comfortable with your own script. What needs to be scripted is, I have some compelling information I want to share with you. Are you in front of your computer? If you can nail that down, it's not are you near your computer, it's not are you sitting by your computer, it's not I will send you the information, it's are you in front of your computer. Pique curiosity. People by nature are curious, and the more curious you can get, you can pique that curiosity, the better off you'll be. So definitely do that. All right. This Jamie Rojas, thank you. Thank you for being a part of the presentation. Can I show this recording to my new recruits? Absolutely, absolutely. We'll get this out to you as soon as it's rendered and recorded. We'll make sure we get it up in all the outlets that we have, so we can make sure we get it to you. Aisha Dar, is there a comprehensive list of all the contracting agencies FEG is affiliated with, and all the products we offer to folks who are new? In the back, Aisha, there is a section called carriers and contracting. Those are all of our affiliations. I would get with your upline or the person who invited you to this call and deep dive into the products that are available. But I mean, we have, in my opinion, the best financial products out in the market. So definitely work directly with your mentor, with your leader, and they'll get that information to you. All right, we got some more questions coming in. Brian Daly, Mike Aristock, thank you very much. Janice White, for some reason I'm not showing as a participant. I could get this, yes. This is recorded, so we will definitely get the recordings out to you guys, all right? Kevin Schneider, this presentation was not part of the Vegas event. We'll also make sure that this presentation gets to you guys. We did have to update it. This may be different from the one on Freedom Builder, but over the next day or so, we'll make sure we get the right presentation up on Freedom Builder. All right, guys, are there any more questions that we can get answered? All right, guys, I'm going to stop the recording. I appreciate each and every one of you taking the time out of your day to be on this call, and we'll make sure we get this out to you and your guys. Let's really win big this year. 2015, Year of the Builder. Let's call it Year of the Freedom Builders. All right, guys, thanks a lot, and I look forward to speaking with all of you again soon.